Welcome back to Shenanigans, everybody. The party has arrived in Rencore despite the coffee pot yelling at them.
It'll
Rencore,
finish its work in a second.
Rencore is a seaside shanty town, population 3,000, maybe, probably closer to 2,500. There's no wall
They have
around
a silversmith.
That's a good-sized medieval town, actually.
Yeah. Because it's an actual town. It's not like a village. It's a proper town. There's some ships hanging out in the harbor that are rocking back and forth with the motion of the ocean and creaking under the stress of weight and boards. Children walk around selling flowers. People are pushing their wares on one another. It's actually a very peaceful little place with its cobblestone roads and orange and red painted buildings. What are you guys doing?
I take it all in. I go find a good meal because we've been living off. Oh no, we've been living off jerky and
good berries.
Mm-hmm.
I'll delete good berry a day each, I guess. Seem reasonable. So
Yeah.
28 minus 1, 3 times 2. I'll subtract 9. So I have 19 good berries left. More heals than we could ever need. I hope. I say we take today off and do our business. See if we can find some silver weapons or something. I assume that if you're this close to Werewolf Forest, you probably have to have quite a market for silver.
I would imagine.
Be the local stopover for adventurers going to slay werewolves and things.
I could go with arrows.
Yeah,
Those are relatively cheap,
pretty
right?
affordable. Yeah,
sheep arrows are 3 silver per 6.
Oh, it's silver arrows.
multiply that by 10, so 3,
So multiply it by 10, and yeah.
3 gold per 6. Is that the case when we go through the market of the town? Is there like a silversmith that seems to specialize in this sort of thing?
Oh yeah, yep. There's the sign out front that says "Werewolf Weapon Store."
Their wolf weapons store.
So apparently the werewolves will be well armed. Good.
All right.
Well, perhaps we should go in and see if they have arrowheads.
I agree.
All right, the storekeeper here at the weapon shop is a one-legged, fairly heavy-set woman who's got a little stool behind it's not really a counter, it's just like a high table that she's sitting at. Behind her is a big rack of weapons.
You look like you have at least one very good story.
At least one. What can I get for you? She says in a surprisingly deep voice.
Well, we're low on cash, but we might have to deal with werewolves. So we were thinking silver arrowheads. I'm sure you get a lot of that.
Oh, we get a lot. I can sell you silver arrowheads. They are
3 gold per 6.
That sounds about right. If you're looking for sheaf arrows, if you get the long bows, it's 3 gold for 6.
Yeah.
Wait, how tall are you, Eric?
I'm 4'9".
How the hell are you using a 6-foot longbow if you're 4'9"?
She's probably using a 5-foot long or a longbow her own height.
But then that's not a longbow.
Look, D&D is not sexist. There's nothing in the rules.
There's nothing about sex in here.
Back this up.
This has nothing to do with
sizest. So she's a size medium creature, and she can do all the things any size medium creature can do.
It's 6 foot long when it's unstrung.
Well,
when you string it, it's less than that.
What do you think this is? 5th edition? No, medium-sized creatures are different.
Historically, longbows are about 6 feet, regardless of the fact that people were shorter in medieval times.
That is a good point.
I don't think it's out of the question to wield a bow longer than yourself. longer than your wingspan, right? It
Okay.
may not be like the most. I think the most efficient would probably be to get one sized for your height.
A Society of Antiquaries
wingspan?
says it's 5 or 6
Or does
feet in length. Okay, that's fine. If it's a 5-foot longbow, that'll make sense. And part of it goes above your head. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You got it.
And
So,
again,
Neil,
like when
I
it's
have a question
unstrung,
for you.
that's the length of it when it's unstrung. When it's strung, it's less than that.
So, Neil, question for you here
Uh-huh.
on proficiencies. So, how specific is a bow proficiency? Like, I wanted to use a composite longbow since that can be used from a wolf back, whereas a regular longbow wouldn't be able to. Is it just like longbow proficiency? Is it specific?
One bow is all bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can get longbow. So I don't have to be specifically longbow
Mm-mm.
or composite longbow.
No. I think all bows are more or less the same. I don't think your archery style changes from longbow to short bow or to composite bows.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So I could get a longbow for now because I don't have enough. How much is a composite longbow? It's some ridiculous amount of money, isn't it?
100 gold
100
pieces.
gold.
Yeah. Regular longbow was something much
75
cheaper, right?
gold.
Seriously, for a regular longbow?
Yeah. A short bow's 30 gold.
I'll have to go with a short bow then.
All right.
Oh.
Are you wanting a short bow made out of silver?
No.
That would
No.
Really?
Morton tells you he's trying to swindle you.
Unless I was
I'll
going to stab him with the bow or cudgel him with the bow.
What kind of sword are you specialized in?
Bastard sword.
Yeah, silver bastard sword is not going to happen.
Nope.
We should get you some silver daggers, though. Or the
Well, here's
silver
an
daggers.
idea. Okay, so I have the gauntlets with the spikes on them. How much does silver the spikes on the gauntlets?
Ooh. I take it the spikes just screw in and you can unscrew the spikes?
I don't know. However spiked gauntlets work in second edition.
They don't exist in second edition.
I imagine they would just
I
be.
thought that was something you could get. Was like spiked gauntlets that gave
Yeah.
like an extra.
They just increase the
damage
damage of your unarmed attacks.
Yeah,
But that's a... Yeah,
It's
that
just
was
a
like an
cestus,
option
right?
in some of the
Okay.
better books.
Better books. Just because they have more doesn't make them better, Rob. Such an American attitude.
I'm an American.
We all are. This is a 100% American stream.
Is it though?
It is, you Canadian bastard.
I would never be Canadian.
I wouldn't be surprised if you were.
I think cestus costs 1 GP.
Canadian is just
I
like
probably- I
gluten-free
would guess 10
American,
GP
you know?
for a silvered spiked glove or whatever.
Yeah, 10 GP for
For
silver
probably for one-
cestises.
Probably for one glove, right? It's single.
I think it's a...
It says cestus, not cesti.
Alright, 10 gold for each one. For silver cestises.
I will fork up gold to get the party.
Actually, you know what?
So
We're
that-
going to say it's actually 5 gold because you don't need the entire cestus to be made of silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 gold.
Okay.
Do you want me to buy
And
that? Or do you
how much was a short bow? You said 30.
Yes, sir.
All right. So regular short bow. How much for the arrows again?
3 gold per 6. I'm
That's
taking
for that's for sheaf arrows. A short bow can only use flight, and that's 3 gold for 12.
All right. So let's see. If I get 24 arrows, is 6. Then 10 more for the spiked gauntlets. We're up to 16. 46. All right. I'll just be broke again.
I buy a dozen silver sheaf arrows.
Right.
Okay, I'm getting 2 dozen in case we get treed or something.
Can a longbow use flight arrows?
Yes.
Oh,
And that actually gives
I
you
don't
better
intend to
range.
miss that often.
So 24 silver flight arrows.
Neil, could I have cast purify food and drink, like burned it the night before, so I can get a second shillelagh?
Sure. Only because it's shenanigans.
And I mean, if not, I would do it now, and we would just take a night in town or something, or I wouldn't care that much. I think the beef jerky was getting a little
Too
chewy,
flavorful.
so I blessed it in the name of Martha.
And actually, you know what? I'll take a silver dagger as well.
Are werewolves considered persons for the function?
Not for whole person, I don't think so.
Mm,
Are they considered persons when they're
They are,
still in
okay.
person shape?
Like, they're humanoid, so they should be. Or
We'll have to find out.
Are they only persons before they change?
you'll have to find out in combat.
Or we could ask the person who sells weapons literally to people who plan to go out and fight them.
Any bipedal human, demi-human, or humanoid. I'm expecting it to work on.
Yes, it should work.
Okay, I'll ask.
And I have a spellcraft proficiency, so maybe I should do a second hold person.
Well, let's
Is the
ask.
place? We ask around town, like how, like we asked the guy as we're buying all this.
Well,
stuff.
I'm going to ask the lady in werewolf weapons here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant. But this is let's have this discussion.
You're trying to figure out if a hold person spell will hold a werewolf, huh?
Oh, it will. I say confidently. Confidently, as a proficient spellcrafter. But
The rest of us are less sure.
how many werewolves are there up in Lupin lore? I like lean in expectantly, nervously.
Oh, well, there's a couple of tribes. No one really knows their true numbers, she says with her deep, gruff voice. They usually don't roam in packs of more than 6, though. Unless you get really unlucky.
Oh, then there's fewer?
I like your thinking. Watch out, they might take your leg, though.
Doesn't seem to have stopped you, though.
Huh.
So, does a hold person work against a werewolf?
Mm-hmm. As long as it's in its wolf or wolf hybrid form. It won't work against them in the human or hybrid form. Won't work if they're in wolf form.
If they're in full wolf?
Yeah. I don't understand how magic works, but that's what my friend tried to do right before the wolf ate him. Turned out it wasn't even a werewolf later, but
Well, I do not hold dominion over animals.
Well, that must be embarrassing, getting eaten because you thought a wolf was a werewolf.
Well, the more embarrassing things have happened in life.
In any case, what was the tab? Did I owe any gold for all the silver gear, or can you guys afford it on your own?
Oh, I can afford my own gear, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting my own gear. I'm broke again, but I don't think we have any further expenses in mind, do we?
Okay, I guess I can just donate this extra gold to the church, right? And we head out of town. Should we go this afternoon, or how long of a walk is it from here to the?
Probably another day.
Looks like a day.
Yeah, it's 16 miles. We don't want to get there after dark, do we?
No, that sounds like a terrible idea. But then again, aren't most wolves nocturnal, and we are trying to get a wolf?
Yeah, we could find them while they're sleeping.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Should we get a net or something?
I thought we were just going to bludgeon it into unconsciousness and then make it like you later, but
Well, we can try. We need some meat.
maybe I'm just old-fashioned.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to bait wolves with good berries.
Yeah, we need to get like a bunch of meat.
Yeah, bison meat. I thought that's why we brought all this meat with us.
I thought we got it for us. I thought we were eating
Yeah,
it.
I thought it was us.
Or Ooh. I've got an idea. Boys. But we'll have to. I don't know if it'll work. So I got a plan B. I got a plan B. I got to back up.
Does it involve a lamb costume?
Closer than you think.
Or a red hood. That would be little.
Holy shit. Morton, right on cue, pulls out. I literally have red silk fragment written on my character sheet. So I pull it out. I think I use an orison to bless it in the name. I even have a bless spell. And it sounds like we're going to spend a
Now,
night.
if we could only get a basket of goods for grandma.
Oh, that's.
How about
I don't have it. That's what my 5th level is supposed to be, is bless. I don't have a bless right now. I want to bless my little Red Riding Hood.
It says a fragment of silk. How much silk?
It's just enough to tie around my head like a shawl or something. We'll lure these big bad wolves out, and then we'll. What's the plan? We're trying to avoid
capture a direwolf. A puppy could be fine. I can raise it.
Do you know how to find them once we get there?
I can try to track one, or I can.
Yes.
Right. Perfect.
I have
You have an expert in doing it.
I feel over prepared for this quest.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a good night's sleep, or do we just want to?
I'm off.
I think I was able to afford a level in animal. No, I wasn't able to afford a level in animal lore.
I do have animal.
Can you handle said wolf once you get it? Like, do you have a riding proficiency or a animal handling?
I have riding, I have animal handling, and animal training.
Oh, perfect.
Just not animal lore.
I have that one.
I'll be
Together
like,
with our
is
powers
this a dog? Is this a cow? I'm not sure, but I
but I know how to handle it.
yes.
Works for me.
All right.
So I guess we spend one night in this town.
Mm-hmm.
Heading out. Okay.
Oh, we should ask about ostriches.
Oh yeah, totally forgot about that.
That evening, we check the local market. Whatever, maybe later that afternoon.
There are emus. Lots and lots of emus.
They call them emus.
Well, there's differences between emus and ostriches. But Rencor seems
Are
to
the
be
eggs still
overpopulated with emu.
Seriously.
Emu eggs, I think, are almost as big as ostrich eggs. They're not as
And I
big.
think, are they green?
They are green. They're
green and
speckled
black.
and green.
Oh, this is awesome. We're gonna bring back so many. So can we get them just right here, right now? Is that what we
Yeah,
have
you can
to
buy
do?
you can buy
we
emu
should
eggs.
fix them on the way back. I mean,
Well, both. We eat it now, and
God,
then we
emu
bring some
eggs
back.
are gorgeous.
I know,
oh,
right?
yeah.
They look like fucking dragon eggs.
Holy shit, man. I gotta get me some emu eggs. If anyone out there has emus with eggs, hard boil some and ship them to me. Alright? We gotta...
Yeah. Or ship them.
oh wow, those aren't amazing.
Yeah.
Here.
Wow. I want to get an emu now.
I understand how the Australian army lost a war now. Probably...
You know, looking
Dazzled
at
by
that,
the
it seems
eggs.
like the picture where it combined or compares them to normal eggs. They probably are the perfect size for that giantess.
She's like 18 feet
Yeah.
tall. She's like
She'll probably need a couple.
Yeah.
That,
Well, no, think about it, because if she's 3 foot or 3 times as tall as a normal person, and those eggs, the emu eggs,
Okay,
are
well,
about 3
her
times
volume
as the
is
regular
going to
egg.
go up by another factor of 3, I think.
But isn't the egg's volume going to be going up? So if it's 3, the emu egg is like 3 times as long as the regular egg. So shouldn't its volume also?
It's not a linear relationship, but yes, they'll both increase. I think
Yeah, I know it's not linear, but it should be proportional to
yes.
her.
So, if you guys are listening to this and not watching, I recommend you just go Google emu eggs right now.
Or write it down and look it up later or something.
You'll forget later.
The
They
decorated
look like
ones are
freaking dragon
amazing.
eggs. I gotta get me some emu eggs.
How do
Yeah.
you see the emu
Are
egg?
they, do they farm emus?
There's
Yeah.
a picture with a fried emu egg.
Are there any nearby?
I don't know. I think for my birthday, I'm going to have someone make me an emu egg omelet.
Santa Barbara seems like it would have like people farming emus out somewhere in the Shenanigans Valley or something. That's like something they would do here. Does it in Santa Barbara?
Oh, there's ostrich eggs available in Santa Barbara, but I don't know about emus. There's an ostrich land in Solvang?
Have you never been there?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Ostrich Land, USA.
Yeah, go take a day trip there sometime. You and Lauren can go on an adventure
To ostrich land?
to Ostrich Land.
It says
or you can probably just go to the local farmers
10
market.
to 12 chicken eggs.
Yeah.
Damn.
Apparently, there's an egg equivalent chart.
Oh shit! All right, yeah, we need just like 3 of
And I
these.
would guess that about a dozen eggs is probably the equivalent of what I mean. Like, so if she has a dozen eggs, it's about the relative proportion of a single egg. So a three emu egg omelet would probably do the trick,
Yeah,
at least for one meal.
we'd need a
And then-
giant pan to cook it on.
But if you feed her once, she's gonna have expectations that you
If you give a giant an emu egg,
every Sunday or something.
Okay,
well, maybe we
San
need to
Diego.
bring back an emu.
There's a ranch in San Diego that breeds emus. They will lay fit fresh emu eggs and have them shipped to you for $100 an egg. It's ridiculous. That's insane.
Remember, that's like a dozen
The
eggs.
world we live in. It's an expensive dozen, though.
That's
Ooh, okay. That might be nice.
Yeah, I just want the shells, and I'd decorate it.
We should probably just cancel the stream for today and go out and buy some eggs.
yeah. Wait, this where's the address on this place?
I only have.
Or we can just play make.
Solvang, 610
Eating egg.
Highway, Solvang. Okay, off to Solvang we go.
Oh my god, you can buy fresh emu eggs and have them shipped to you for $100 an egg. It's ridiculous. That's insane.
Remember, that's like a dozen
The
eggs.
world we live in. It's an expensive dozen, though.
That's true.
That's the sale price down from $150 per egg. Which is, probably a lie. Emu hatching eggs can be shipped by priority mail or express mail when the
Emu
temperatures are moderate.
Wait, you can buy a fertilized egg and
Why
farm
would you
your
get
own
that?
emu?
That would be so. Then you have to raise.
If I had enough land, I would totally raise. They're the creepiest thing. Like it'd be like having a pet dinosaur,
Why wouldn't you want a pet
a
dinosaur?
pet raptor.
Why wouldn't you want a pet dinosaur?
Well, I think
Like
the bigger question here is if you're going to be buying eggs for hatching, why are they shipping them through the mail?
They
That
can
seems
ship
wrong.
They can ship live chickens through the mail. This is a fact.
You can put a chicken in a box and
US
mail it to someone?
No, just chicks. I think just babies. But yes, the U.S. Postal Service will mail live chickens for you.
I want a baby chick.
Live chicks.
What country do we live in?
Absolutely.
I want a baby chick just so my kitty can hunt it, and it'd be precious to watch. Is that wrong?
That is no. I don't think that's what they're for. But I guess.
I'm sure you could feed them to
Your
your
chickens.
snake if you had one.
I have a cat, and he always look like little mice. I'm sure he'd see the equivalents there and just try to chase it and eat it. I don't know.
Can we play Dungeons and Dragons?
And that's how you get people to get back to D&D.
All right. We're going to have to come back to emu eggs later.
Do they? How much is an emu if we just were to buy one?
In game?
Yes.
It might be in the player's handbook. Let's see.
See, they don't have emu or ostrich.
Damn. A goose is 5 copper.
How much does it cost to buy a goat in the real
Peacock
world?
is 5 silver. A goat in Dungeons and Dragons is 1 gold.
Yeah, but how much is a goat in the real world? If I just wanted to buy a goat,
Let's
I think
Go internet.
$100
No idea.
$100?
and more than that, I would guess.
Um,
That order of magnitude.
You think it'd be $1,000 to buy a goat? That seems unreasonable.
No, a couple. They said that order of several hundred would be my guess.
Oh, okay.
I'm
no,
I'm
it's
estimating
like-
based on what goat meat costs and expanding that to so if you're buying them for your meat, I don't know, is that
Commercial
the same as
does-
buying them for
Commercial dose for goats say 120 to 180 each
120 to 180 for a goat.
for one commercial breeding doe. But the
How
male,
did this go from an epic direwolf quest into an animal husbandry?
but the breeding males are 300 to 600. That's all. And then the
Okay.
baby goats are 120 to 180.
Let's see. Fertile emu eggs are $100 per egg. 1-day-old chicks are $200 per chick. 3-month-old chicks are $300 per chick. 18-month to 2-year-old emus are $800 per emu. And proven
lucrative.
breeding emus are $5,000 to $10,000 per pair.
Holy Christ!
So if you want a single emu in D&D, it's going to cost you 8 gold.
But see, that's like here in a country where they're not native.
Who knows if they're native?
I mean,
here?
like
Are you don't have an animal lore proficiency? How would you know this, Rune?
how would I know if they're native? Because they're freaking here. Because they're overpopulated with emus. Overpopulated is what I heard.
Yeah, but I think...
Overpopulated, meaning they have too many and they need to get rid of some, thereby lowering the price.
Did we actually say that it was
It's supply and
overpopulated with
demand.
emus?
You said overpopulated. With
Did
emus.
I?
Overpopulated
It could
was
just
the
be
word.
this one farm is particularly.
It might be your impression is that they're overpopulated, but they might not feel that way. It's
Yeah,
8 gold
that
per
was the
emu.
damn pronouncement.
Well, it's 8 gold
I'll
per
be
emu.
buying
All
some
right.
emus on my way back to town.
Okay.
It's how much per emu?
But now
8
we're gonna
gold.
work on that
Oh,
overpopulation.
that's reasonable. We can do that.
Yeah.
And eat some emu egg omelets.
If you want a
Local.
proven breeding emu, though, it's going to cost you more.
How much would it prove?
It'll cost you
the proven breeding pair or whatever it is.
50 gold for a pair of emus that you know will breed.
Proven breeding emus, Neil.
Yes.
Because that's what we would need. I mean, there's no point in bringing back an emu if it's not going to lay
Of
eggs.
course. I have no point.
You can put it in the barn next to the spiders.
Jesus. Why do we have spiders?
You have a barn full of spiders.
Still.
Giant spiders.
They were being fighted for their silk.
Someone needs to burn that barn to the ground, please.
Yeah.
Dell retired to manage the spiders, right?
Oh, did she? Thank God.
Yeah, she was taking care of the spiders. I'm not sure how, since the only thing between like a successful filth operation and a spider apocalypse was the kind of friendship spell that Curry had.
Yeah, and Morton does not have access to the spirit animals.
I mean, she could just be really careful.
Well, she is fuzzy. You know, she'll find a way with the spiders.
She would know something like, oh, well, by the scent
I
of
assume-
jasmine
I
oil
assume,
it
like, we
calms the
defang-
spiders so
We
that
defanged them while they were still charmed, and now she just wrangles them by hand. So in any case, we spend the night at the local watering hole, eating omelets and drinking milk,
Yeah.
and resting up for our adventure tomorrow.
Yep. You guys sleep and move on.
Oh, yeah.
I think. We don't need a bless spell. It's clunky. 2 shillelaghs it is. I don't want to be caught without a weapon in the werewolf forest.
Okay.
To Lupin lore we go. So the next morning, are we skipping to the next morning?
Yep, we skip to the next morning. You guys are rested. It is a beautiful day. You've all healed from your problems at the tavern a few days ago. And it is 16 miles to the Lupin lore. Now, you can only really move 24 miles in a day, unless Morton is encumbered, and then you can move a little less.
No, I got it. I got my gear, enough of my gear on the donkey.
Yeah, and if you need to push it, you can move on. If you want to force march, you can move an extra 50%, I think, but then you get penalties and yada yadas. But I think you can probably push to 28 miles in a day without significant penalties.
So we'll make it there by evening.
Yeah, you'll get to Lupin lore well before evening.
I think
But
we'll
I'm saying you
probably
won't be able
leave-
to get there and back in a day.
Oh no, we could head back in the night though,
Mhm.
as we get chased down by werewolves. Okay. We set off. Unless there are any objections.
Nope.
I
Let's
pull my
roll.
Red Riding Hood over my head to cover my like bald friar thing from getting sunburned.
Mhm. All right.
All right, let's roll.
Naturally, it's the only logical course of action. And
You go. You make it through the western steps nice and easy. There are no encounters along the way, and near the end of the day, you find yourself at the edge of the Lupin Lore. It is a vibrant green forest of all sorts of beautiful trees.
What kinds of trees? Like not just a pine forest.
There are lemons and limes and avocados.
Oh,
seriously,
Yes.
Oh, man, this is a margarita forest.
right.
There's also oaks and pepper trees and eucalyptus trees
Well,
and
the oaks would work.
I
So-
don't know. There's lots of different trees, man.
Oak and eucalyptus in the same place.
I am just kind of
This is
naming
just-
trees that I know of.
Okay, well this
this is
works.
great. Morton's in heaven. You know, I actually there's a third level spell called Tree that I thought about memorizing, where the priest just turns himself into a tree for like an hour and a half or whatever it is.
Brother Morton, do you
I
have-
thought about praying for that spell, but
Brother Morton, do you have the ability to cast Entangle?
not today.
Perhaps
Probably
you
should
learn
have
that one?
I probably should have expected that. Yeah. If you had told me yesterday, could have been done.
Well, what we
Now that we're here, all I can do is eat the avocados.
yes. Well, since we're going to camp the night here and then go into the Lupin Lore, because
This is the Lupin Lore, isn't it?
we're right on the edge. Before we go in looking for wolves, it occurs to me that we should probably camp up in the trees.
Are we
That
like
would-
on the coast or
like-
coming in from the? We probably stuck to the coastline the whole way, right?
We should probably sleep up in the oak trees, up in the branches there, so that if we can't get surprised by werewolves or wolves or things that can't climb trees.
I can't climb trees.
I can probably
We can
climb.
boost you up. You can stand on the wagon. We can boost you up, and then we can move the wagon.
There's no wagon.
There's just a donkey.
Oh,
Who cannot climb trees either. So are we in the Lupin Lore, or are we like in?
I think at this point the donkey has Shenanigans armor. Because it's still alive at this point when everyone else has died.
It doesn't even have HP. I don't think it has ever been strucken by an opponent.
Correct.
This could be donkey's first time. And
Shenanigans.
I bought this donkey like long time ago. I think pre-wagon. I think I had this donkey for gear before we even bought the mystery machine. Somehow he has survived.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe this is donkey number 2 and I forgot. But in Morton's mind, donkey never died and neither did the babies.
Well, we could. We should come up with a good camp spot where we can't get surprised.
Okay, I think we should go have a look around and then before because it's.
Well, don't we want to do that
We have a
in
couple of
the
hours of daylight.
daytime?
It is daytime, right, Neil?
It is
Then we
daytime.
arrive.
Like end of day.
No, I thought we pretty much arrived at camp, set up camp time because you have to set up camp before it gets dark.
That was just
Setting up
2:30.
camp in the dark is a bitch.
You can overland travel at 20 at your movement rate times 2.
Yeah. So you
24 miles a
you
day.
get there. It's 16 miles there. You can move 24 miles in a day, so you get there with plenty of time to set things up.
Or do we explore? I say we spend a couple of hours poking around the woods before dark and leave by nightfall. Or do you want to get a fresh start on the next
I
morning?
thought of like a fresh start at the day in the morning when we have the full day ahead of us.
Okay, but then I suggest we get some distance from the Lupin Lore itself.
Okay, why don't we find ourselves that gives us plenty of time to find a good defensible camp site.
All
Yeah.
right, sounds good.
Like maybe if we can find a hollow at a hill or something where we can fight off many werewolves. or wolves.
So where is that?
Well, we're looking around for it.
But I mean, what would satisfy those requirements?
Something where the terrain would favor that, where like the lay of a hill.
No, this is flat. This is very flat terrain
All right.
with trees and bushes.
Okay, with the bushes and things, is there like any sort of? I mean, a lot of bushes would be too thick for creatures to push through.
There are some blackberry bushes nearby.
Okay, yeah, creatures wouldn't want to push through that.
Mm-hmm.
We find ourselves a good spot where we can defend one entrance or from one direction.
Yeah, you can find a spot where you've got blackberry bushes to your back, and you'd only have like a 120-degree arc in front of you where something could approach, unless it wanted to climb through a blackberry bush.
All right. Well, what do you guys think? Would that be the best? Can we do a survival check to see if we can find like the best ultimate defensible place?
Does anyone have a survival skill?
Well,
all right.
We got a ranger. I'm assuming a ranger has it too.
I don't actually have that.
I don't think there is a survival skill in second edition.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, survival.
Oh yeah, it's in a particular.
Yeah. So what's the controlling stat for that?
I'm looking it up. Survival is intelligence.
Oh, good.
Come on, Rooney.
Let's see what we can find.
All right, you guys set up camp. And actually, I think we're going to break a little bit early because I think this next segment's going to be the longest one here.
Oh.
So why don't we take our break and we'll come back with more shenanigans in a little bit. If you guys are not looking up emu eggs during the break, I don't know what's wrong with you.